Kart 8!
Wrong game.
Mario Kart 8!
Hello there, everybody. This is CwapTheNintendin here. And my Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 continues. Actually, it really doesn't. This is more like a look at of Mario Kart 8. Well, Mario Kart 8.5. This is Mario Kart 8... This is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the enhanced version of Mario Kart 8 that came out basically recently, April 28, 2017. And it's basically by default the Switch's technically first game that is multiplayer, that is a big experience until Splatoon 2 comes out and totally takes that title. Unless ARMS takes that by surprise, but, you know, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Originally snuck into the Switch's reveal trailer, this port got formally announced at the Nintendo Switch presentation in January, with a bunch of other Xenoblade 2. Basically, this version is more like a version of Mario Kart 8 with just some new content packed in for $60. And yeah, they're pretty much right. They are pretty much right indeed. So, along with all the original content from the Wii U version, there's also a bit of brand new stuff packed into the Switch version as well. Well, we should probably just get all the negatives of this port out of the way, just so that I can focus on all the positives, because this port has a lot of positives, believe you me. So first off, no new race courses were added. Oh yeah, sure, you can have all the characters, including the DLC, all the CCs including 200 and Mirror, and all the courses, including DLC, at your disposal from when you first boot up the game, but no new Grand Prix cups. Like, I would have been satisfied with just 2 or 4 new cups. Like, Nintendo. It's been well over 2 years since DLC Pack 2 for Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, so surely you knew that the Nintendo Switch was coming at this point. Like, you've been developing this thing for a while, and keeping it all hushed up. And, you know, that would have been time, that would have had, you know, so much time to, you know, develop some brand new courses for it, but it doesn't really feel new in terms of all the courses stuff. So, you know, it's whatever. Maybe DLC Pack 1.5 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will come with a lenient price then. And, well, this next thing is kind of a moot point, but then again, I wrote the script for this, so whatever. The battery life when the Switch is undocked, because, you know, that's the big thing with the Nintendo Switch, is that you can take your games on the go. It's not gonna last you long, believe you me, pretty much just like Zelda Breath of the Wild is. It lasts only 2 to 3 hours, depending on your brightness and internet settings, if you have, like, airplane mode on at least. Then again, this is Mario Kart and not Zelda. And a game like this where you're just racing around, you know, shooting people with the items and not exploring a massive open world can really only take up like an hour or 2 of your day if you're playing it on the go. Well, obviously, unless you're playing it in dock mode, in which case, you know, have all the fun that you want. So yeah, kind of a moot point. But yeah, that's really only the real negatives I have to say about, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's the fact that there's no new racetracks added, plus, you know, the battery life when undocked. So, fair enough. But definitely, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe definitely does have some merits as well. Believe me, it does have its merits indeed. So, first off, we have 5 new characters joining the roster. First of all, we have 3 new characters returning from previous Mario Karts. We have King Boo and Bowser Jr. from Mario Kart Double Dash returning. We have Dry Bones returning from Mario Kart DS, which was his first appearance. And we also have 2 newcomers as well. Because Nintendo really likes to sell their products, we have Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl from Splatoon join in. Because Splatoon 2 is a thing. I'm not counting Gold Mario. He's just an alt skin. You have to win every cup in 200cc with gold in order to unlock him, but he's just an alt skin. I mean, technically he replaces Metal Mario, but you can still do that thing. I guess, I don't know. This effectively makes this Super Smash Kart as well as, you know, the largest roster of any Mario Kart game at 42 characters. Come on, fighting games that I barely know of. You gotta step up your game. You gotta add like 30 characters. Street Fighter 4. I don't know. I don't know fighting games. You may have also noticed that whenever you select your kart and parts with either plus or minus or whatever Pro Controller option displays the kart stats, you have 3 additional options. Well, first off is obviously the tilt controls, which has basically been the standard ever since, you know, Mario Kart Wii. But you also have 2 new options to the series. That little antenna around, you know, behind the karts allows for smart steering, which allows you to avoid hazards and makes an attempt at leading you away from corners, even though it's not really precise. The other option allows you to auto-accelerate, which, well, it basically lets you drive without needing to hold the button. So, with both smart steering and auto-accelerate on, all you really need to worry about is using items. And before you complain about this, and you already did, you can turn them off. But I didn't realize that until I was doing Toad Harbor on 200cc, and then I turned them off. They're on by default, which is weird. But I will say this in defense for auto-accelerate and smart steering. I recently had relatives over for an Easter brunch, some of them being young boys among relatives of mine, and you know, they wanted to play the Nintendo Switch. So they did. And a few of us played Fast Remix, and needless to say, one of them really, really likes crashing into the wall and falling off the track. But, you know, we all had fun. We all had fun. We were laughing, we were smiling, and doing all sorts of stuff. Basically, with auto-accelerate and smart steering, newcomers to kart racing games can have fun just shooting the items at others until they're ready to take those training wheels off. So yeah, good idea for the new kids. And speaking of items, here's another really cool change. During gameplay, you can now hold 2 items instead of 1. And by extension, the double item box from Double Dash also makes a return. This actually changes up the game more than you think. So, say you get a coin and a banana. You have the coin first and then use it up. And then you hold the banana behind you just in case you want to protect yourself from a shell. If you see another item box come up and grab it, you'll get another item for the reserve while you're holding that item behind you. So yeah, this way, you'll get to use plenty of items even if you find yourself on a stretch without any item boxes in sight. It's definitely the same deal as Double Dash in that regard, in which you hold 2 items at once and you wanting to save the other item for a bit later. Like, you want to use a mushroom for later, which is, you know, what I do. Unfortunately though, the downside of that is that there's no button to swap the items like in Double Dash, so you'll have to use up 1 item in order to get to the next item, so yeah, kind of a bad decision. Speaking of gameplay, remember when the battle mode actually sucked? Remember when instead of actually making a battle mode, they made a battle mode in which you go on the full racetracks instead of the actual battle arenas? Well, not anymore, because even though the Wii U could have just done an overhaul patch, the Switch comes through with an actual battle mode. God, yes! So, finally, the standard battle mode returns from Mario Kart 7. I'm not counting vanilla Mario Kart 8 because we don't talk about that. Alright, so, there are 5 modes for battle mode, of course. If you remember how Mario Kart battle mode works. Basically, there are 5 modes. There's Balloon Battle, in which you hit each other for the most points, rather than last man standing. Kind of a weird change, but whatever. It's Balloon Battle. It's the standard, man. A new mode called Renegade Roundup, which is basically cops and robbers. One team is the cops, the other one is the robbers. The renegades have to, well, survive the longest without being caught by the robbers. And if the cops, you know, catch all the renegades, the cops win. And if the renegades survive for a long time, or until time runs out, you know, the renegades win. So yeah, it's a nice little fun mode. I played on it a few times recently, and it's pretty fun. I suck at it, but it's pretty fun. Bob-omb Blast. Explosions for the most points ever made. Coin runners. You gotta get the most Nintendo coin, because otherwise, Nintendo won't make money. And finally, returning from Double Dash is Shine Thief, which basically means you have to keep the Shine Sprite for yourself, and watch it get stolen by a dude, and the match goes on forever. But it's fun. 8 battle courses are also included in this package. You get 5 new ones in the form of Battle Stadium, Sweet Swing Kingdom, Dragon Palace, Lunar Colony, Urchin Underpass from Splatoon, and you get 3 retro battle courses, including 3DS Woohoo Town, GameCube Luigi's House, and finally SNES Nostalgia Course 1, because we can't have a Mario Kart without an SNES battle course. It's the classic mode that we needed ever since it somehow got screwed up on the Wii U with its full racing tracks, but thank God Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pretty much has you covered with that, and now it's the best Mario Kart by default. Pretty much just like I said, in terms of Mario Kart 8, it's the best one, and now with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Deluxe is now the best one. Opinions are weird. So, now you also have 2 new items joining in the ranks too. The Boo item makes a return, making you invisible while the Boo steals an opponent's items, and holy crap, the Feather returns! For battle mode only. Yeah, kinda sucks. But, just like in Super Mario Kart, it'll make you jump to avoid things and sometimes help you steal items like a mushroom can sometimes do. In terms of some other changes that I've noticed, or at least that I know of, Amiibo functionality for the Amiibo suits for Miis has been extended by a grand total of 1 Amiibo suit! Because Splatoon is represented in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, every single Splatoon Amiibo that you have can be used to unlock the Splatoon Amiibo suit for your Mii. So, whether you have, Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, just a Squid, Callie, Marie, and maybe some other Splatoon 2 Amiibo, you can use just one of them to unlock the Splatoon Amiibo suit for your Mii. For online matches, you can now change your character in between races, whether with randoms or with friends. It's definitely a much needed feature, as originally, you had to stick with your character and then exit out of a room and then join back with a different character / cart, and with different players as well. Since Miiverse is not on the Switch, stamps have been omitted, and remember that exploit I told you about in Mario Kart 8? The fire hopping where you drift and then you just basically jump all around to gain a lot of speed? Well, apparently that's a controversial exploit in the game, and apparently Nintendo knew that, so fire hopping is now gone. Whatever, I'll live. An in-game guide was also added, including tips and tricks, as well as explanations of items and the basic controls that you need to know in order to play. RIP electronic manuals. Since you can play with your Switch undocked, you can play wirelessly with other people with the game. Unfortunately, I have no actual people to play local multiplayer with because I have no friends. Actually, I do have friends, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to say I have no friends with, and as far as I know, none of my friends at school have the game to test this out, so rip me on that. Rip me. Still, it's a nice thing that you can do, as you can have up to 8 Switches with 8 copies of the game, so you can play up to 8 players with that. But now, as a last thing to mention, another big yet subtle difference is the fact that since the Switch is now a 1080p console rather than the Wii, which was 720p, even though the Wii U did say that it was 1080p, they lied. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is now rendered in native 1080p and now at a consistent 60 FPS, whereas Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U was only 720p and 59 frames per second. You can really only see the difference by seeing comparison videos, but the Switch version is definitely a lot sharper and cleaner than the Wii U's counterpart. In terms of textures, because the textures definitely look a little bit cleaner than they do on the Wii U. But the truly big change to the system, you're never gonna believe this, the biggest change ever is the fact that there is confetti on the floor when the Wii U couldn't do that. Yeah, look at Mount Wario, look at Mario Circuit. Look at some other track that I can't really think of right now. There's confetti on the floor. Oh my god. Yep, confetti on the floor. Somehow the Wii U can't handle confetti on the floor. Pity. But basically with that said, that's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for you. Really, this video was only going to go over the changes that were made. Because, well, let's face it, I'm not going to do a full Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because that's an excuse to make more videos. Whether you like the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe exists or not, it is, in fact, the true edition of Mario Kart 8 that we never wanted, but we got anyway. It's basically Mario Kart 8 with added fluff, but the added fluff makes it a slightly different experience than the Wii U game. Regardless, whether you're willing to buy this game again for $60, or if this is your first game that you're going to get with the Switch, so you have to shell out over $350 for a console and this game, you pretty much have a one hell of a package deal. Mario Kart 8 is easily now by default the best Mario Kart game ever made. And hopefully, this will continue to be a great multiplayer game for anyone with a Nintendo Switch. Well, until ARMS or Splatoon 2 take that place this summer. So yeah, if you're really worried about this being a completely, different experience, well, not really, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is basically a port rather than, like an entirely new Mario Kart game. So, I felt no shame in trading in my Wii U copy of Mario Kart 8 just so that I can buy this. Yay for upgrades. And no, I'm not doing a full Let's Play, thank you, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is basically the same goddamn game. That's what live streams are for. Duh. Okay. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.